Still being followed by Nazis.
The cigarette butt police are on patrol. Not in the interests of public hygiene, of course, but rather to keep the coffers of private corporations stuffed to bursting. But I never litter, and I think anyone who does deserves all they get. Oh yeah, because it's all about deterring litter, isn't it? Which is why whenever they catch someone at it, they always insist that they pick the litter up right afterwards. Oh, wait, no, they don't do that, do they? No, instead they take pictures of it and issue a fixed penalty notice. A person is guilty of an offence if he throws down, drops or otherwise deposits any litter in any place to which this section applies and leaves it. Let me just repeat the key phrase here. And leaves it.
But I didn't litter. I've explained it to you. You saw it yourself. I don't know if you saw it. I dropped a coffee jar on the floor by accident and picked it up. And you're following me.
The lid of the jar is still down on the floor.
The lid of the jar? Well, I didn't see the lid of the jar. The lid of the jar's on my coffee jar right there. I can show you now.
Then we have the Enforcement Officer's Guide to Issuing Fixed Penalty Notices. Don't issue FPNs for accidental littering. For example, if something falls from someone's pocket. Only issue FPNs where there is evidence of intent to drop litter. Give offenders the chance to pick up litter before you issue an FPN. Warn them that you will issue an FPN if they don't. How many private companies that employ these black shirts could care less about the rules and regulations that surround prosecuting for littering? Especially when you consider that these companies take up to 85% of the fines paid, thereby incentivising the greedy bastards that run them to find ever more imaginative and slippery means of holding the public to ransom, such as fining people for feeding the ducks or fining them for dropping litter into a public bin.
Right, got two Sefton council officers following me around. There's his buddy over it.
So when they're not hiding in doorways or leaning against lampposts, the rubbish police are following people up and down the street. Mostly smokers, because it's only a matter of time before that cigarette butt hits the floor.
Can you tell me what that means there?
This access is not adopted or maintained as a public highway. Persons use this access at their own risk.
Okay, so what it is this bit is actually not owned by the council, so therefore you're gaining money, right? Okay. It's not according to that. Right, so what you're telling me is you can earn money on somebody else's property. Sure, the owner will be very happy. Bye-bye.
Fixed penalty notices for littering is created by Section 88(1) of the Environmental Protection Act. But that doesn't afford the local authority any special concessions on the standard of proof. So, tough tit on any litter officer who hasn't captured video evidence of the offence. His word against yours would not be enough to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you're guilty, which is why in those circumstances you should always refuse to pay the penalty notice and insist upon a hearing in court.
Right, I tell you now, I am not going to give you any ID. I have no ID on me. Now, what are you going to do about that? Right, my name's Fred Bloggs. Okay. Put it down.
Right, I need to make you aware, sir, that providing false details is a separate offence under the
There you go. You don't want to accept it? There you go. Go on, Fred Bloggs. 1 Buckingham Palace. Bye-bye.
If an authorised officer of a litter authority proposes to give a person a notice under this section, the officer may require the person to give him his name and address. A person commits an offence if he fails to give his name and address where required to do so, or he gives a false or inaccurate name or address.
Now, at the moment, for the littering offence, okay, the council is offering you an opportunity to receive a fixed penalty notice. They don't have to do that, sir. They can simply prosecute you.
Right, you're going to prosecute me then.
So what happens if you refuse to give your name and address and walk away? Will you end up doing hard time for it? Well, firstly, these litter officers, CEOs, support officers, of whatever myriad of names they choose to give themselves, none of them have any powers to put their hands upon you to stop you from leaving. All they're able to do is call the police.
Well, I refuse to give my details anyway about this. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not being detained. You're not a police officer.
That's right.
So, I don't... You have to call the police, that's fine.
Now, I'm not going to even comment about how keen the police are likely to be when one ticketing authority contacts another, but I've already gone down this route when I made a Freedom of Information request to every police force in England and Wales, asking them how many people have been prosecuted for failing to provide details to a police community support officer. Most of them couldn't come up with a figure. Some of them didn't even know the offence existed. And one of them even asked me to provide them with a Home Office offence code so that they could look it up. No such offence code existed. In the end, I contacted the CPS, who provided me with the answer. In a 12-month period, only 3 people had been prosecuted for the offence of failing to provide their details to a plastic policeman. Conveniently of that figure, the CPS didn't tell me how many were subsequently found not guilty.
Fine, well, I'm going back down there. If you're going to follow me, just don't touch me.
I'm not going to, as long as you don't touch me, sir, that's fine.
But if you do refuse to give your details and walk off, then expect to be hotly pursued by these bloodhounds of litter while they wait for the real plod to arrive. Is this harassment? Not really, because harassment is defined as a course of conduct which involves causing someone alarm and distress on more than one occasion.
Got my phone recording him.
You all the way there.
He's following me and following me all the way back. It's ridiculous, this.
So unless you can vacate the area immediately by maybe someone's in a cab to drop you around the corner, then you might have to hope you get as lucky with a Good Samaritan as this bloke did.
Mate, have you given him your details? No. Don't do it. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, I know.
So don't do it. Walk away. Get in the van with me. We'll give you a lift. You don't have to do it. You're not obliged to give him any information. Come on with me. Come with me. Come with me, mate. Come with me. Come with me. If you want to lift in the van, if you come in the van, he'll just chase you all day and phone the old bill. They can't do anything either, but he'll cause you hassle. Come in the van. We'll give you a lift around the corner. Mate, you're a bottom feeder like a paedophile. Don't talk to him like that.